To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be realized by the myriad things.
Kyoto may be one of the most photographed cities in the world, but there are streets here where visitors are asked to put their cameras away. I watched people ignore the signs. They entered private alleys, lifted their cameras, and took what they had already been asked not to take. And standing among them, I felt something I had never expected to feel in Kyoto. Ashamed to be a tourist. I had come here with good intentions. I wanted to walk beneath the vermilion gates of Fushimi Inari, to lose myself inside a bamboo forest, to wander through old Kyoto and, if I were fortunate enough, catch a glimpse of a geisha passing quietly through the evening. I wanted to see the Kyoto I had imagined. I arrived after dark with only 3 full days. By the following morning, I was too unwell to leave my hotel. For 1 entire day, Kyoto continued without me. My limited time was disappearing, and all I could do was lie still and listen to a city I had traveled so far to experience. I thought Kyoto was slipping away from me, but Kyoto would not reveal itself according to my plans. It would meet me inside a crowd, through the kindness of a stranger, and in a bamboo forest I had never intended to visit. By the time I reached its old streets, I would understand that traveling somewhere does not give us a claim over it. A city is not a performance. Its people are not characters placed there for our photographs, and beauty does not become ours simply because we have crossed an ocean to see it. Kyoto did not owe me the experience I had imagined. It was asking something else of me. To slow down, to pay attention, and to learn how to be its guest. Kyoto taught me how to be a guest. I'm Noe Rose. I travel alone, walking through places slowly enough to discover what they hold beneath the surface, their stories, their contradictions, and the lessons they leave with us long after we have gone. Because sometimes a journey changes more than where we are. It changes how we see. This is Noe Rose Travels, the home of the solo ways. In the last chapter of my journey through Japan, I traveled to Okazaki, the birthplace of Tokugawa Ieyasu, the man who survived decades of war, uncertainty, and betrayal before unifying the country under a shogunate that would endure for more than 2 centuries. I arrived searching for the source of an unshakable mind. I thought I might find it in the discipline of the samurai, in strength, endurance, or the ability to remain unmoved when the world becomes uncertain. But Okazaki left me with a different understanding. To be unshakable does not mean that nothing disturbs us. It means learning to govern what happens inside us when it does. I left Okazaki thinking about self-command, about the discipline required to choose how we respond to the world. My next journey would carry that lesson into a very different kind of encounter, because self-command is revealed not only through adversity, it is also revealed in the way we enter places that are not our own. From Okazaki, I continued west toward Japan's ancient capital, Kyoto. For most of that first day, I stayed inside my room. I had only 3 full days in Kyoto, and one of them was passing without me. By lunchtime, I needed to eat. Fortunately, I didn't have to go far. Just beside the hotel was the Umekoji Fermentation Factory, a space devoted to one of Japan's oldest forms of culinary transformation: fermentation. I ordered a meal without fully understanding everything that would arrive. There was a warm tomato soup, something made with cucumber that resembled sushi, although it wasn't. Then the host arrived with small rice bowls and a tiny handheld fire pot. She roasted them for me right there at the table, turning them carefully over the flame while the outside slowly toasted. It was such a simple gesture, but everything about it felt thoughtful. And then the rice ball started to pop. I had never seen anything quite like it. The little fire pot, the rice beginning to crackle, the care with which she prepared each one, it was all so charming and completely delicious. I had imagined my first full day in Kyoto as a list of temples, streets, and places I had waited years to see. Instead, Kyoto reached me through a meal, a warm bowl of tomato soup, flavors I could not yet name, and a stranger patiently roasting rice balls beside my table. On a day when I had very little energy to give the city, it offered me nourishment in return. The next morning, I was well enough to leave the hotel. I still didn't feel entirely like myself, but after surrendering one of my 3 days in Kyoto, I was ready to walk again. And there was one place I could not imagine leaving the city without seeing. Fushimi Inari Taisha. I knew it would be crowded. I had seen the photographs, the seemingly endless passage of vermilion gates, usually captured as though the person standing beneath them had discovered the mountain alone. The reality was very different. Everywhere I looked, someone was raising a camera. People waited for the briefest opening in the crowd, hoping to create the illusion of solitude. I tried too. But each time the path cleared, another person stepped into the frame. For a while, I found it frustrating. I had crossed an ocean to stand here, and I wanted an image that could preserve what I had imagined this moment would feel like. Fushimi Inari had stood here for more than 13 centuries. Inari Okami was enshrined in this mountain in the year 711, before Kyoto had even become Japan's capital. And the mountain itself is sacred. The foxes found throughout the shrine are not the deity. They are believed to be Inari's messengers, silent guardians sometimes shown carrying keys to the granaries that once held the rice on which life depended. Inari was associated with rice, harvest, and sustenance. Over time, that meaning expanded to include prosperity, industry, and the hope that our efforts might bear fruit. Since the Edo period, individuals and businesses have donated torii as offerings, in gratitude for a prayer answered, or in hope that one might still pass through. Today, approximately 10,000 gates rise along the paths of Mount Inari. Thousands of wishes made visible, thousands of expressions of gratitude, one after another after another. At first I remained aware of everyone around me, their conversations, their footsteps, the cameras appearing over shoulders, the bodies entering and leaving every frame. But somewhere along the path, the repetition of the gates began to alter my attention. Vermilion, shadow, stone, forest, again and again and again. The crowd had not disappeared. I had simply stopped resisting its presence. And when I did, something inside me became quiet. I no longer needed the path to be empty. I no longer needed Kyoto to arrange itself for my camera. There were hundreds of people around me, yet the walk had become entirely my own. This was not the solitude of being alone. It was the solitude of becoming fully present. A sacred place does not have to be empty to meet us. Sometimes, we only have to become quiet enough to meet it. A torii marks a passage from the ordinary world into sacred space. But here, there was never only one threshold. Every gate led to another. Every arrival became another beginning. And I began to wonder whether this was why the path felt so powerful. We like to imagine transformation as a single moment, one decision, one revelation, one doorway through which we step and emerge remade. But life rarely changes us only once. We pass through one threshold and encounter another, then another. The journey continues asking who we will be each time we cross. We do not become different all at once. We become different one passage at a time. Do not come to this shrine in the afternoon. It's like a river of salmon in there going upflow. You're like head shoulder to shoulder. I'm enjoying it from the outside and it's really impressive. I would love to come back. I'm going to see if I can come back in the morning early. Absolutely mind-blowing. And by the way, this represents transition from this world to the spiritual celestial world. This is what this tunnel of gates is about, just in case you're wondering. At first, I was trying to escape everyone around me. I kept watching for an opening, a few empty seconds when the gates might belong only to me, but the opening never came. And somewhere beneath those gates, I heard a quieter voice within me. Stop fighting the crowd. Let them pass. You do not need the path to be empty. You are already here. Look at the gate. Only the gate. Walk beneath it. Now the next one. Do not look for the photograph. Do not look for the moment after this one. Stay here. Vermilion, shadow, stone, light. One gate, then another, then another. Let the voices move around you. Let the footsteps disappear behind you. There's nothing to resist, nothing to capture, only this gate, and then the next. You came all this way, Noe. Be here. Quietly. Completely. Without asking the moment to become anything more than it is. Pass through. Let go. Near the top, a man approached me. He was another solo traveler visiting from India. He had noticed that I was alone and offered to take my photographs if I would take some for him too. There was nothing extraordinary about the arrangement. Two strangers, two cameras, a few minutes exchanged on a mountain far from both of our homes, and yet it felt so meaningful. Earlier, I had been waiting for the crowd to disappear so I could create an image of myself alone. Instead, it was another person who made the photograph possible. Solo travel teaches us independence, but it also teaches us how often independence is sustained by small acts of trust and kindness. A stranger watches your bag. Someone points toward the correct train. Another traveler takes a photograph and for a few minutes makes certain you are not absent from the memory you came so far to create. We helped each other carry home proof that we had been here. Not alone in the way the photographs might suggest, but briefly seen by someone whose name I forgot. The mountain showed me that presence is not something a place creates for us. It is something we bring to it. Among 10,000 gates and countless strangers, I had found a private passage, not through the mountain, but through myself. The crowd had not disappeared. I had. Not from the mountain, but from the center of my own attention. And once I stopped placing myself at the center of the experience, the gates became all I could see. A sacred place does not have to be empty to meet us. Sometimes we only have to become quiet enough to meet it. This is where the opening quote becomes experiential rather than merely intellectual. To study the self is to forget the self. For a few moments, you do forget yourself. You stop thinking about your limited time, your illness, the photographs, the crowd, and what you hoped Kyoto would give you. There are only the gates. Is Fushimi worth it? In spite of all the throngs of people flooding the place. It starts at 7 and it's non-stop until around 9-10 p.m. It is definitely worth it. Yes, it's worth fighting the crowds. It is a unique experience, and especially when you can tune out all the people and the noise and just appreciate what's been built here. I'm so moved. I found no word to describe how this experience was for me. But then again, it's easy for me to tune out crowds in most cases. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I was walking in front of this shop and I just bought a bunch of sweets. Like, everything just looked so good, I just had to get it. And then they had these on display. So I got one and now it's melting, so I'm gonna eat it right now. It's matcha with sweet potato. And I don't know what that is, but Oh my god. You guys, it's so good. Yum. This is the flavor of the season. Look how pretty this is. Want a bite? Bamboo was not new to me. I grew up in Tahiti, where it was part of the landscape that surrounded me for most of my life. Even now, thousands of miles away, bamboo grows in my backyard in New York. Its height, its movement, the sound of its leaves in the wind, none of this was unfamiliar. But familiarity can deceive us. Sometimes, when we have lived beside something for long enough, we begin to believe we already know it. At Rakusai, I realized how little attention I had truly given to a plant that had accompanied me across oceans and through different chapters of my life. I knew bamboo, but I did not know it could take so many forms. Some stalks were pale and almost luminous. Others were dark, speckled, striped, or patterned like tortoiseshell. Some were slender and delicate. Others were thick, angular, or twisted into shapes that seemed carved by hand. There was even bamboo that appeared square. The park preserves approximately 110 varieties of bamboo and bamboo grass from Japan and other parts of the world. And as I moved from one specimen to the next, the familiar became strange again. Not because bamboo had changed, but because, perhaps for the first time, I was being invited to look at it closely. I had traveled to Kyoto hoping to walk through a famous bamboo forest. Instead, I found myself reconsidering something that had been present throughout my life. Bamboo had grown beside me in Tahiti. It grows beside me now in New York. And here in Kyoto, it was revealing how much can remain unseen, even when it has been near us all along. Perhaps discovery is not always the encounter with something new. Sometimes it is the moment we finally look closely at something we thought we already knew. Kyoto City Rakusai Chikurin Park. I had never heard of it. It had not appeared in a version of Kyoto I had constructed before my trip. And when I arrived, almost no one was there. The first thing I noticed was the sound. No queue moving behind me, no voices competing for space, no one waiting for me to step out of their photograph, only bamboo shifting in the wind. After the endless vermilion passage of Fushimi Inari, I had entered another vertical world. Green instead of red, open sky instead of gates, and a path I did not have to share with hundreds of people. The museum was small, wonderfully specific, and far more entertaining than I expected. There were bamboo instruments, traditional crafts, architectural materials, rare specimens from beyond Japan, even the underground stems that connect to bamboo grove beneath the soil. It felt less like visiting a grand museum and more like being invited into someone's lifelong fascination. Every display seemed to say, "Look again. You have not understood this plant yet." One exhibition traced bamboo's role in an invention that transformed the modern world. When Thomas Edison was searching for a lasting filament for his early incandescent lamps, bamboo from Kyoto became part of the solution. For years, something grown quietly here helped illuminate rooms thousands of miles away. The museum preserves that connection through reproduction of Edison's bamboo filament bulb. A plant I had associated with silence had once helped bring light into the modern world. I intended to stay briefly. Instead, I worked for the entire afternoon. There is no one here aside from 3 other people. And if bamboo is what you want, here you have the Bamboo Museum of Kyoto, and it'll show you all the bamboo that grows here in Kyoto and like at Arashiyama. Arashiyama was too crowded for my taste. I did not even attempt to go in the bamboo forest. It was just so crowded. So I came here instead. Hidden gem, nice and quiet, and bamboo is indeed what you get. There was no famous photograph I was trying to recreate, no landmark I needed to reach. I followed the paths because I wanted to know where they went. The more slowly I moved, the more the forest changed. Lights shifted across the trunks. Leaves turned silver when the wind caught them. Every variety held itself differently. What had appeared simple from a distance became more intricate with every step. This was the Kyoto I almost missed. The Kyoto beyond the queue, beyond the image everyone already knew, walking quietly for anyone willing to change direction. When I walked away from Arashiyama, I thought I was giving something up. I did not yet recognize that I was being redirected. One place would have given me the photograph I expected. The other gave me 5 hours of discovery. And that difference mattered. Travel plans teach us where we intend to go. A journey reveals where we needed to arrive. I had come looking for a bamboo forest. I found an entire world of bamboo, and for the second time in Kyoto, the city became most generous when I released my demand for a particular experience. I love how Japanese people are so meticulous at everything that they do. This Japanese garden is, I really don't feel like I need to go to the Arashiyama bamboo forest after this. It's such a treasure with everything that's here. There's a vlogger in front of me. In this corner of the garden, you can see rows and rows of weathered stones. From a distance, they looked almost like graves, a small cemetery hidden beneath the bamboo. But these were historical Buddhist statues and other sacred stone objects. They're believed to have once been used as building material in the walls of an earlier Nijo castle, constructed by Oda Nobunaga in 1569 for Ashikaga Yoshiaki, the final shogun of the Muromachi shogunate. Centuries later, they were unearthed during construction of Kyoto's subway and eventually brought here for preservation. Images once carved as objects of prayer had been taken from their sacred settings and buried inside a fortress wall. Now, they rested in the open again, worn nearly smooth by time, silent beneath the bamboo. yet still carrying the traces of the people who once prayed before them. I had come to this park to understand a familiar plant more closely, but even here, Kyoto's history was waiting beneath the surface. Doesn't this add a beautiful, slightly haunting note to this place?
I'm so happy I came here after Arashiyama. Considering I gave up on Arashiyama, I will come back next time and make sure that I go uber early in the morning. I just was tired this morning, but I found this gem instead, and I'm so happy that I came here. It's really a treasure. I encourage you guys to come here. There's no literature in English that tells you that tourists have not really come here yet. So, I mean, hopefully it'll stay that way. I think it's meant to be that way.
By the time I left Rakusai, the day was not over. There was still one part of Kyoto I wanted to walk through. Its old streets. And there, the lesson of being a guest would become impossible to ignore.
views from my room from the hotel I'm staying. All right, I made it to Fukuoka. I'm in Hakata, and I'm staying at the Trad Hotel Hakata. It's a very nice hotel. I got a twin double room because that's all that was available. So let me give you a quick tour. Okay, so these are your cards that you put out every morning. Toilet. And that's my room. That's all there is to it. But water. Oops. And then you have your coffee drip and cups and a little fridge and a little bench. So remember at the train station, I got those waffles. I haven't eaten them yet because I ordered the taxi right away and it came, so I didn't have time to eat. And you don't eat in public, at least while walking or on the street, and you don't eat in public transportation unless you're on the Shinkansen for a long ride. Does it make you salivate or what? Oh my gosh. It's like a cross between waffle and a donut. You need coffee with this. All right, I'm gonna make myself a coffee. See you after my indulgences. But love Japan. Love Japan. I definitely want to come back like every year. I love everything about here, like the food, just everything. Everything is so black and white, like most everything is. You don't have to wonder about much. You see what I mean? It's like, it's either their way or the highway, which I love. Kyoto was tough because it was so crowded. I didn't really like it. Like everywhere you went, it was almost like shoulder to shoulder in some areas, like the famous shrine. The bamboo forest was even worse, so I didn't even go in. I stopped and then I actually found a different bamboo forest, smaller but amazing. You know, I keep eating like all the sweets. I'm discovering all these desserts that are just yum, so yummy. I don't even remember the names. They're just melts in your mouth and it's so good. Oh my gosh. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning here in Fukuoka, Japan. And it's raining. So while raining, you know, we do things indoors like maybe museums, even though those are not my favorite. But I do love museums here in Japan. There is a museum I would love to go to. It is called, I'm going to go to the Hakata Traditional Craft and Design Museum, where you can paint your own Hakata dolls and take them home with you. Be a great souvenir. There's also the Tenjin District. That's apparently really nice to go stroll along on rainy days. It's got the malls and cafes and restaurants and all kinds of boutiques and spas. A spa day is a good idea too. What do you think? And for now, I just want to answer one question that keeps coming up is, what are the things that I love the most about Japan? There are so many things. I would say everything. But one of the things that I think is so cute is that whatever hotel you go to, they provide pajamas for you. like the one I'm wearing right now. Ta-da! So they provide these pajamas for you wherever you go, and some hotels actually provide yukata, the kimono, the cotton kimono that you wear in home. I actually bought one that looks like a real kimono that you would wear outside. I will wear it later. But check out this yukata from the last hotel I went to. You see how I wear my yukata here in Japan? Very demure, very mindful. And by the way, I'm staying 3 more days. So exciting. So I'm fully taking advantage of these 3 extra days that I have here before heading to, I'm not gonna say it right now. All right, let's get out.